since we have been conducting last 9 days great workshop for FDP development for years 2020-21. So today is the 10th day. Today my speaker is Mr. Rupas Kingsuli, and he has a lots of experience. Basically, today his topic is industry talk films medium communications. Let me introduce the speakers first. And he's the SME at Initial Education Solution Tribal Limited. And right now, he is an SME with any animations verticals associated with the Initial Education Solution Tribal Limited. He did his MPhil from Madurai Kamraj University. He has a 16 years plus experience as a SME of animations. He was the professor of PSG College of Art and Science from 2010 to 2015. He was the assistant professor of Hindustan College of Arts and Science from 2008 to 2010. He has worked on nearly 30 short films and 30 music videos, and 3 films got selected Norway International Film Festivals. He has published 4 international paper presentations. So welcome to sir, welcome to in your FDP programs. Over to you, sir. You can start, sir.
Thanks a lot, Suman, for your welcome note. And good afternoon, everyone. So I think you can show your faces. Google sir, Janath sir. Many are not new to me. Only few people are new to me. Right. So hope you all had a wonderful sessions for past 10 days. And today we are getting into a new where we are going to discuss. I'm not going to talk much because you all are learned people, well knowledge in your industry, and you have a lot of experiences. So today we'll just have a small like one-to-one communication, or we'll just discuss something or talk something like that. Right. So the topic what we are going to discuss today is about film as a medium of communication. So I'm just going to split into two: film and communication. Right. So film is being a very, very important, essential element in our life. You know, what are the essential needs? Food, clothing, shelter. The same way, film is also been a very, very important element in our life. When this lockdown, they announced this lockdown on March, right? This film became a very, very important thing, because that is the one element which is entertaining us 24/7, and we always deal with film. Yes or no? Right. So anybody here in this team today discussion, can anybody say, no sir, I don't like to watch film? Can anybody? No,
I think nobody dared to say that.
Yeah. Okay. Right now, I'll ask you a simple question. What kind of films you like? One by one, you can answer. Dr. Janardhan, what kind of movies you watch?
Action-based movies.
Action-based movies, correct.
Action, entertainment, family,
Nice.
regular motion pictures.
Okay, good. Mohammed Shamsul, sir?
Yes, sir. I like comedy movie and family movie only.
Bhavna, ma'am?
Fiction films, like parallel kind of society-oriented films. Mostly, like it's not a commercial films.
Okay, okay. Theme-based movies. Okay. Anybody?
Yes.
I like romance movies, sir.
Since you are a newtie, that's why, sir.
Okay. Anybody else?
I prefer movies based on stories. So anywhere where the story is strong, no matter whether it is, what I can probably go the other way around. What are the movies which I don't like watching is horror, those zombie kind of movies. Although you will be saying that I belong to the department of VFX and I don't like zombie movies, but actually I don't like zombie movies. I don't like these horror films which has the bhoot element into it. But adventure and all, and where the story goes, you know, where I have a good element of story, it is good, but not zombie and horror.
Right. All right. See, as everybody said, we like these movies. No, anybody 24 hours we have a day. Every day we will watch a film. Yes or no? Somewhat
Yes,
like
yes.
the TV.
Yes, yes.
Yes, because film has become very, very close to our heart and close to our life. The same way, when I talk about film, we just keep it aside. We talk about communication. Just think today, if the communication stops, I'm talking the communication about verbally and non-verbally, right? If the communication stops today, what happens? There is no communication. What happens? Can anybody say?
One or another way we used to communicate, no, sir. There is without communication we can't.
Right.
If communication stops, human evolution will slow down. Sir.
Yes, exactly. Anything else? Anybody else want to add?
Abhishek mentioned suicide.
Yes.
Loneliness and suicide.
I also wanted to say that, but thank you, Abhishek sir.
Exactly what you said is right, because we cannot stop our communication. Every time we need to communicate something. You watch your mobile phone, you watch TV, you watch outside, everything is communicating to us, right? So what is the link between a film and the communication? When you watch a film, when you sit and watch a film, maybe a film doesn't have a barrier of communication, because we watch Korean films, we watch Japanese films, we watch Hindi films, Malayalam, because film doesn't have a barrier of communication. Something it is communicating to us, we watch with a subtitle, either less we do like that, right? What do you take from a film when you sit and watch a film? What is the main aspect which you are so interested in?
Story.
Good. Then
Emotion.
Emotion and empathy, sir. We used to connect with the film always. Like, no, that is what, like when we are watching film, that 3 hours we usually connected. We not even think about anything what's happening in and around. So that connections, because many things, no, we can't do in real life. We are expecting, we are watching that we are just like, no, getting into the character and all. So it's there in film. That is the
exactly. Thank you, ma'am, for mentioning that. Because we cannot go and have a fight in a road with more than 10 people. We cannot even hit a single person, obviously, because we are not used to it. But we want to do everything. For example, suddenly you are getting into an affair. I mean, love affair. It's just for fun, all right? Immediately, you're not going for a Switzerland or any places to go and dance with more than 20 or 30 people in the backside with very good music and all these things. It is not happening in our daily or real life, but it is happening in the film, because we want everything to happen in our life. For example, you walk in a roadside, suddenly there is some fight that's happening. You want to go and address yourself, but we are not doing it. We are not used to it, but we want to do. That's the same thing just showing in the film. No, everybody say no, the film doesn't have any. If you watch a film doesn't have a logic. It is basically a magic. Whatever, see, you watch all this Avengers and all the superhero films, right? In that films, nothing is happening in the society right like that. There is no human beings or superheroes in this, but we want it. We love it. See, when I watched this Avengers, myself and Ajay sir, we watched that film together. When Iron Man died, I couldn't eat at that night. I couldn't eat my supper, because we are very close to our heart. Film had become like, it's very, very interesting to our life. We always love film. Am I right? What we take in a film. There are so many elements in a film. There are very learned people. You know about cinematography, you know about visual effects, editing, colors. All these things are mixed of things are there in the film, right? There is emotions, as uh, Madam said. There is an emotions, empathy, and there is a revenge. All these things, so many things were there in a film. They said, and yes, somebody said something, right? So all these things were in the film. We've split a film in three categories, in three aspects. One is a beginning, a middle, and end. That we all know. When you start to tell a story, also every time you start with a beginning, you establish something, and in the middle you create all the hooks and all the puzzles and everything, and the end you resolve all the puzzles. This is what basically a film. When Aristotle was telling something about a film, he said, we watch a film and we take only the climax to your home. It is what happening, because we are not thinking about the first scene, what is happening. We'll take only the climax. That's why he said a climax have to be inevitable, or it some aspect which is called hammering home. There are two kind of climax. One is a closed end, and another is an open end. Closed end is a happy ending. There are so many struggles were happening in the film. The protagonist and antagonist, they having a lot of fights and everything. Finally, it is resolved. So we are having a happy ending. Sometimes the director makes you to think the climax will be so heavy. You cannot even sleep sometimes. Hey, what that film he made like that. So what happens in a film, there are so many things, but we take the climax. Why? Because the characters in the film, we love that characters. So when you talk about the films, we talk about story, we talk about characters, then we talk about climax, we talk about problems, we talk about puzzles, and so many things like that, right? So today, what we are going to do is, we are going to make a story right now. Right now, we don't have any story in our mind, right? We don't have any story. Might be you might have some story which you want to direct or something like that. There are so many filmmakers out here. But right now, we are going to make a story without anything. Now we are going to make a story, right? So before that, let me just say a very one small story which will make you to realize. I want all of you to think visually. You know what is visual thinking? If I say a green apple, can you just think how the green apple will be? Yes? Okay. If I say a KFC chicken, it pops in your mind, right? So this is a Christmas evening, Christmas Eve. So I'm talking something about plum cake. So it comes into your mind, right? So I'm going to tell you a story right now where you all have to listen to me and you have to think visually. Whatever I say, you have to think it visually, right? Are you with me? Yes? Yeah, right. So this story starts about a small kid. Okay, can we name a kid? Can anybody say a 3-year-old kid?
Jana.
Janardhan. Okay, Janardhan. Nice name. Thank you, Dr. Janardhan. We can name the kid as a Janardhan. Okay, so
Yeah.
he is playing with all the small chickens in the field. He's playing outside in the house. All right. So there is one car. It is Premier Badmini blue color. Imagine how the car will look like, right? So there's a horn. So it is coming inside the house. There is a small compound wall. It is coming inside the house. So this guy was playing and just looking, and he is seeing the car which is coming towards the house, and he's so happy because it is his father. So he started to run towards the car. So the car stopped. The father got down. So the father took Janardhan and he took close to his heart and he went inside. And there is his wife. So the Janardhan's mom is just cleaning the house. And father said, right, get ready. We are going to the village to see grandma. So the son is so happy. Janardhan is so happy. So he went and packed all his toys and everything. And he went and sat back of the Badmini car, back seat. You know Badmini, Fiat Badmini, how it looks? It has a hand gear. Just imagine everything, right? So blue color. So the father started to drive the car, and the car started to go in a road where this is a small road where there are two sides are full of trees, and the father started to drive the car. Then son was sitting in the back, holding the father's shoulder and said, "Go fast, go fast, go fast." You know, Premier Badmini, it won't go that much fast. It's an old car. But father tried to go fast. He just pumped the accelerators, trying to go fast. But suddenly what happened, when he was going fast, he can feel the brake is not working. He just pumped the brake, it is not working. Imagine everything, all the scene you have to imagine, right? So he was pumping the brake, it is not working, and he just saw there is a lorry coming forward. He don't know what to do because there very small road and both sides are trees. So somewhat he managed, and he just turned to left. He just went and banged a tree, heavy bang, and he just hit on his head to the steering. Mother hit on the dashboard, and they both died on the spot. Luckily, this guy, Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan, no? So luckily, Jonathan didn't have any small hurt. He was just escaped. Both parents died. Right now, the son's life became a chaos. So what happened? He went to his grandmother. The grandmother started to feed him and started to give him life. Then the nearby school, he went and started to have his schooling. So, a 3-year-old guy, he won't have that much of emotion, would die, but right now he's having all the comfort, and survival is very good with his grandmother. There is no stumble blocks in the grandmother's house. So he was enjoying, and he was going to school, coming back. So life has started. And in school, they arranged for an excursion to go to Mysore. So they asked, you have to bring 1,000 rupees. There is a 5 days excursion. We are going. It is compulsory. So he went home and asked his mother, grandmother, can you give me 1,000 rupees? Grandmother said, no, I don't have. I don't have any single penny. So he went to school and said, no, I'm not coming. The friends, everyone said, no, if you come only, the excursion will be fun because you dance, you sing, all these things, they said. But next day he went to grandmother on the dinner time. He asked his grandmother, can you give money? Then she said, no, I don't have money. But he saw his grandmother's thumb. She is having a finger in the thumb. She said, okay, sell that thumb ring and give me money. But the grandmother said, no, it is not coming out. Only one thing, which is what I'm having, this thumb ring, I'm not going to give. So this small boy, Jonathan, he started to cry. He didn't have his dinner. He went and slept with a lot of, he started to weep in the mat. He was just weeping. Grandmother, she went and washed all the vessels and came, and she also slept. What happened when she is little old, grandmother is old, so she had the food. It went and pressured the food pipe, and she couldn't have started to breathe. She started to suffocate. She started to suffocate. So she tried to call Jonathan, but this guy, turned his back, and he was sleeping. So she couldn't call and she couldn't speak. So what happened? She started to suffocate, and she got a cardiac arrest, and she died. Now the Jonathan's life became a very big question mark because there is no one for him, right? Are you imagining all the scenes? Right. So all the funeral got over. Right now he doesn't have anyone. Now he started to think about his life. So what happened? His uncle, who's living nearby, he's not having any kids. So he said, okay, I will take care of you. So he started to live in his uncle's house. Now he became very cautious about his life, and he's not so mischief. And he goes to school and come back. He couldn't ask money. The excursion is very near. Friends started to pester him. You have to come to excursion, but he's not having money. He can't ask uncle because now he became an orphan, right? But friends, all the small kids, they said, what happened to your mom's thumb ring? Then he said, no, we just buried like that because it didn't come out. He said, come, we'll go and take that. So all these guys, 4 to 5 kids, they went there. They took out the body. They tried to pull the finger, but it didn't come because of the soil, it got swollen. So finally they went and took one knife, cut the finger, throwed the finger, took the ring, sold, then went to excursion very happily. So they went to excursion and everything got over. After so many days, he started to go to school, come back home, and he was doing homework. And uncle and auntie, they said, come, we are going to temple. But this small kid, he said, no, I'm having homework, uncle. So you better carry on. So they went, okay, there is food in the table. After finishing your homework, have your food and sleep, right? So here there is a turning point where he went, he started to do his homework. He saw TV, then he had food, and he was about to go to bed. And there is a knock. He thought, okay, uncle and auntie has come. So he went, rushed to the door and opened the door. And he saw one old lady having one cover on the head, covered her head, and she was standing. Right. So then this guy, he thought to think about his grandmother. He said, "What do you want, Granny?" She said, "I'm so hungry. I missed my bus. Can you give some food?" He felt so pity, and he called, "Okay, come inside, Granny. I'll give you." So he gave food, and the Granny started to eat. So much she had. Then she started to hiccups. She started to hiccup. Then in villages, they have a vessel like this, where they will bring the water, and he brought the water and kept it on the floor. She took the water and she started to drink. While drinking, this small boy, Jonathan, he noted there is no left thumb of the granny. So she was drinking and there is no left thumb. So this guy asked, "Granny, Granny, where is your finger?" And the granny said, "You only took it." Okay. This is just a story where what I want to say, you understood the story, right? You all thought visually. So yes, I want to say the story. Why? Because to make you to think visually. When you see a film, there is so many visual elements in the film, right? There is colors in the film. Colors, it speaks about something. If there is a red prominent color, it speaks something about danger. And there's a purple color, it speaks something about richness. You can watch this, there is a web series, the famous web series, I forgot the name. Right.
Four more
There is
shots.
HBO web series. Can you mention the name? Anybody?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. In the Game of Thrones, when you watch, there will be a lot of prominent purple color because it talks about richness. You can watch, if you have a time, you watch it. Right. Now, we are going to do a small activity. We are going to work something. I want all of you take a paper and a pen. Just a fun activity. I'm not going to bore you much. We all are in festive mood today, even myself, the festive mood. It's a Christmas Eve. So we'll have some fun activity, right?
When you were narrating that accident scene, I got the memory of Children of Heaven, Masjid, Irani films.
Yes.
They were father and son were going by cycle. All of a suddenly, father got to know that brakes were not working.
Yes.
Then
yes.
that entire episode.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks,
Rufus,
Yes,
one thing I also would want to share, the one while you were narrating the story and we were like kind of visualizing the story. I think the same kind of thing happens when we also read a storybook. Like right now, I'm reading one storybook which is Suhail Dev, Amish ka. There is one, the one who is the author of the Miluha, Immortals of Miluha, and so I am a fan of his writing. So right now, I'm reading one book which he has written, Suhail Dev. So every day I read a few chapters because at night I cannot read too much. I get this, like while you were narrating, we all of us probably have our own visual, scenario which is coming out. So even while they write, like a story writer, when he writes with that the person who is reading, the reader should be able to give a visual, should have a visual description of what he has given. So while you were doing this, I just remember those scenes from the book.
So, cinema is a powerful medium that we all know. It speaks with a language of universality. So, cinema through storytelling, documentary, realism, or fiction, it's through its very nature demands a universal language, right? By accessing and understanding what makes a universal issue, the audiences can better engage with the world around them. So film represents and at the same time it signifies. Okay? They remix the real, unreal, the present, real life, memory, and dream on the same shared mental level. So film is always important in our life. That's why we have these courses around us, right? Okay. Now we are going to make a small story. It is maybe a 1 minute story or a 2 minute story, whatever it is, right? So there is no story right now. How do we make a story? We are going to make the story with the use of characters. Characters, without characters, the film will be bored. I mean, characters, not only a person is a character, maybe a tree is a character, a car is a character, a pen is a character. So the entire film is revolved around the characters, right? Before that, we used to say hero, villain, all these things we used to say. And right now, as a technical term, we have to say a protagonist and antagonist, right? So while listening to the story, you might have assessed which is a protagonist, who is a protagonist, who is the antagonist, and which is the beginning, which is the middle, and the end in the story. That's why I just narrated the story for you. Fine. So now we are going to make a small story with the use of characters. Everyone are going to work individually, right? Fine. So now we don't have a story. As a team, we are going to make a story, right? First, we will create a character, right? First, we will create a character. Maybe we'll create a positive character, a protagonist, maybe a hero or whatever it is. You may define the name, right? One character we are going to make right now. So just name the character. All these things you have to note it down in your paper, right? First, name a character. Suggest some names. A male character, suggest some names. You can say.
Nemo.
Rishabh.
Right? Rishabh,
Miguel.
Raghav. Yes.
James.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ranveer.
Sams.
Pardon me?
Sam.
Okay. Anybody else? I think Raghav sounds
Ravi.
a little cinematic, right? Raghav, who said that name? Baba. Yes, okay. We can name the name as Raghav. So you write it, character A, Raghav. Okay. Now, what is the age of the character? Age.
5 year.
5 year, okay.
More kid story. Maybe I'm just thinking, sir.
22.
No issues. The creativity is in your part. No matter, no problem. Google, sir, any age?
Sweet 43.
43? Okay. That is Arun, sir, I guess.
Arun, sir, your age, sir.
Fine, nice.
Yes.
Okay, we can keep. Okay, 43, 5. Any other guesses?
25.
25. Okay. Any more?
29.
29. So this is very, very prominent. Okay, fine. 29, 43, 5. All right. So we'll choose one. I think Google, sir. We'll go with Google, sir. 29. Okay. Raghav with the age of 29. Okay. You can write Raghav, age 29. How does he look? I mean, physique, like good muscle or fat, thin, beard, long hair. You can demographic. You just say, how does he look?
Broad shoulders, muscular body, tall, but dark.
Likes like that, I guess, right? Okay, fine. Okay, muscular, tall. Okay. Any other guesses?
Dark skinned.
Good. Okay. Any other guesses?
With a ponytail.
The
And a
ponytail.
beard.
Nice. Good.
And a beard.
And a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. French beard.
Hey,
Whatever
why
is,
you all
something.
describing Rufus, sir?
Hey, no, Sufasa does not have.
No,
No,
you
no.
asked him, he had before, like, no
Last year,
ponytail.
Beard
So
is actually trend now.
Kingsman character looks, sir.
Okay. So finally, we'll go with Rini ma'am, like broad shoulders, tall, and with a ponytail, French beard. Is
Muscular.
that fine?
Okay.
Okay, fine. So now you know a character named Raghav with 29 years old, with the broad shoulders, with a ponytail, and the French beard. What is his work? What is his profession?
Software.
Military.
Military. How is it possible, man?
Madam,
French.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Polo,
Hairstyle.
Job
Okay,
seeker.
sorry.
He's searching for a job. He doesn't have any job. VIP.
Musician.
A musician searching for job. Interesting. Anything else?
Pani Puri wala?
That characteristics are not matching with the profession.
He is a drummer.
Drummer.
Drummer will have a long hairs and
हाँ तो long
complete
hair है
beard.
ना, ponytail है ना,
Complete beard,
complete
ma'am.
beard
They will
क्यों?
not.
French
They
beard
will
है,
not. They will
जबरदस्ती
not go.
He's a thief.
They will not go with French beard, man. Only
Freelance artist.
IT people or
Ah,
professionals,
he's a thief.
psychologists.
or an
Pani Puri.
animator.
Pani Puri wala?
Pani Puri wala have beard, complete
Really
beard,
good.
sir.
Sounds really good. Out of the box. You're thinking always out of the box. Okay. So we'll finalize.
Yes.
We'll finalize with what?
We can put music director.
Music director?
That's why I said something related to
Fine.
music.
Music. So he's a music profession. Okay. Professional music profession. All right. Fine. So now you got one character, right? So just think about the character. Raghav, 29 years old. Someone said jobless animator. Abhishek, sir. Thank you. That's nice. And okay, music profession might be good. We'll just think out of the box. 29 years old. I'm just recapping all the demographic. 29, broad shoulders, tall, muscular, ponytail, who is a musician. French beard, who is a musician. All right? You're fine with this? Just
Yes,
put
sir.
one line. Just put one line. Forget about this character. You're not going to think about this character right now. Okay? This is character A. Got it? Now character B, where we can say as an antagonist, villain, whatever it is. Okay? Don't think about the character A and relate with the character B. We are going to think out of the box, right? Don't think about the character A. That's over. Now character B. Okay? Can you name maybe a male or a female, whatever it is? First, we need a name.
Rao Gopal Rao.
Any other names?
I given
Clement?
Clement?
Yeah.
Good? Good, sir?
Clement.
Clement. Sounds good. Okay, Clement. We can have
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Lucifer, yes. That film was also nice.
What is it, Rufus?
That is a direct meaning to an antagonist.
Right. Clement sounds good. We can have Clement.
Clement.
Clement, fine. So what is the age of Clement? Don't think about character A. One more time, I'm repeating. It's a new
65.
character. 65. Good. Anything else? Anybody else? Any guesses?
Around 50.
Then only there will be a clash with the ideologies.
Anybody else?
Yeah, like
45 to 50.
50, 50s.
Okay, 50s. We can have 50s. Is that fine? Yes, 50s. Okay. Now detail the character. Clement with age 50, and how does he look?
Again, broad shoulder, little age.
Broad shoulder. Okay. Yeah, even right now after 60s, 70s also people are very stiff and very muscular right now.
That's what, sir.
Clean shave.
Clean shave.
Clean shave with the bald head.
Clean shave.
With the bald head.
Bald head. Nice. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bald head.
But
Tummy, nice round tummy.
No.
No?
If he is a muscular, how can we
Oh,
expect him?
muscular means you're saying, okay, not fat. You're talking about a fit body. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Clement with the age of 50, muscular, but a bald head, right? This is what, fine.
Yes, sir.
Mustache, rounded mustache.
No, ma'am told that clean shave. Clean
And
shave.
clean shave. We can have clean shave. Yes. Right. Fine. So what is his profession?
50 means almost at the retirement age, sir.
Yeah. It means retirement, maybe entrepreneur or whatever it is. Give some guesses.
Sub-inspector. Sub-inspector.
Sub-inspector.
Taxi driver.
Taxi driver, sub-inspector, anything else?
No, we mentioned that muscular, no? If it is the profession is matching with that fitness, it would be.
IT professional,
Yeah,
IT
corporate-
owns a
corporate
company, corporate,
person. Corporate
IT,
person.
HR head or something of that sort.
Okay. Okay.
I nurture
Owns a
HR.
company.
Yes, sir. Gokul sir.
I nurture HR head. He's the villain,
They
right?
all gave a
So,
very prominent demographic. Nice fun. Anything else you want to add? Somebody said gym
Gym
trainer.
trainer,
Hey,
yeah.
gym trainer, Dr. Abhishek. I think it sounds good. It sounds good, really good. So we can have a gym trainer, maybe.
Jain
Okay.
faculty also, sir.
Both are same. Gym trainer, Jain faculty.
Yes.
Lot of exercise.
Okay, so we can have a gym trainer.
Okay.
So two characters were made. So forget about these two characters. Keep it aside. Put on mind. Now we are going to make one more character C, which is a female character. Okay. Don't think about A and B because we never ever had a relationship with this. We made a character which is out of the box. Right. So now character C, a female character. Name the character, please. Gokul sir, I want your input.
Ratika.
Radhika.
List or this new name?
Radha se Radhika.
Radha.
Radha se Radhika. That is what I said. Radhika.
Radhika. Okay. Anybody else? Arun sir.
Purnima.
Rafia.
Purnima, Radhika. Nice. Anybody else?
Rafia.
Yeah, Rafia. Oh, he's showing some social message in this movie.
Okay.
Angelina.
Chilmili.
Angelina.
Chilmili is
Angelina.
what Abhishek sir has sent. Chilmili.
Shailu.
Shailu.
Shailu looks stylo. Okay.
So Paka, Shailu. We'll keep the name as Shailu.
Shailu.
How does she look? Homely, modern, curly hair. Details.
What?
She's
45,
very
sir.
innocent.
Sir, age.
45, sir.
No.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, ma'am. Age. Give an age.
45, sir. 45, sir.
45.
No. 25 to 25.
No.
They are not accepting. We are all in the
25.
40s.
25.
Sir, you said 45, right? I think
45 is enough, sir.
No. I think you are thinking about your ex-crush. Yeah.
No. I'm 35, sir. How can I?
No. You are thinking about ex-crush means maybe 45. Maybe your teacher.
You will keep
Yeah,
25 to 30.
whatever.
25.
25.
25.
25. So Shailu, 25. How does she look? This is what I want. Yes. How does she look?
Long hair.
Long
she
curly
looks
hair.
very-
Tell me some examples from Jain.
I feel that beauty will be at the middle age only, sir, not in the teenage or else.
No, sir, 25. Like, no, they are also
That
having.
is why I mentioned 45, ma'am.
For me to say that we lack beauty. Okay, never mind. Okay, next, let's go ahead.
Curly hair, tall or thin, homely, modern.
Homely, modern.
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Both.
Tall, curly hair, homely, modern.
Oh,
Okay.
long hair, na? Long curly hair.
Yes.
Long curly hair. Nice,
And
nice.
we don't have. Keep it.
Okay. Long curly hair. Yes. Dark skin or fair.
Fair, sir.
Fair.
Fair. Okay. Fine. So what is her profession?
Military officer.
Ayya.
Military officer, long
Professor, assistant professor.
Maybe a sergeant.
All right. Anybody else?
Can be a model,
professor,
sir.
Assistant professor at Jain, sir.
Can be a model.
Assistant professor
Sir,
at Jain,
fashion
sir.
designer.
No
Fashion
one is here,
designer.
sir.
Sir, assistant professor in Jain, sir.
It was also giving female tone.
Yes, sir. At least we should give
Very
one.
nice. Very nice.
Sociologist.
Sociologist. Very good. Anybody else?
Psychologist.
Psychologist.
Sir.
Teacher, school teacher, primary school teacher.
Sounds good. Primary school teacher. Shall we keep her? Primary
Yes.
school teacher. All right. So Shailu, right? Shailu, 25 to 30, tall, curly hair, long hair, fair, a primary school teacher. All right. So now we have three characters which doesn't have any relationship. All the characters were made by us in the discussion. All right. So now look into these three characters. We have to make a bridge to these three characters. We have to make a bridge. We have to make a bridge with the Clement, the first character of the name,
Raghav.
Raghav, Clement, Raghav,
Shailu.
Clement, and Shai. These three characters are different by the profession. One is a music director, one is a gym trainer, and one is a school teacher. They doesn't have any relationship of meeting. Now, you are going to make a relationship with all these three. You have to bridge this. For that, we need to make some incident. We have to create some incident. Now we have the characters. We don't have story. Now, I'm going to give you another 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You can take 15 to 20 minutes. Just see these three characters. Link these three characters and form one beautiful story with a beginning, middle, and end. A very funny, it can be a funny story, it can be a horror. The genre is in your hand. I'm not going to give you a genre. You're all are learner people. You know what to do. Just go through your flow. Have fun. You want to create a fun story also, you can make it. All right. So now the time is 3:15, 3:17. So another 20 minutes we'll take. Is that okay? 20 minutes is fine for everyone? Okay. So take 20 minutes, create a small story, just write it down on your paper. Then we'll come back at 3:40 or 3:35, 3:40. Then we will have the presentation. Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay. All the best.
Hi. Thanks for coming back. Okay.
So, is everybody is done? I hope everyone finished. Right. Okay. So today everyone became a very good story writer. In another 15 minutes, he made a story. All right. So shall we start to present one by one? Just read out, or if you don't want to read out, you can just narrate it, whatever it is.
Okay, can I start, sir?
Yes, sir, please.
If anyone is writing, then I will wait. I think.
Sir, you can start, sir. Gokul, sir.
Okay. I'm going to start with a very big school campus. Camera slowly enter to the campus. There is a principal and all the teachers are standing nearby him. So he is saying that next week we are going to celebrate our cultural program. So I'm going to form the team for each faculties. So he is giving one job to Miss Shailu. So she is the in charge for the singing and music competitions. So then immediately she says like, sir, we need some music expert to our student to give some tips for our cultural program. So then the principal will introduce Raghav to Shailu. So he is the music teacher for that particular, cultural program. So, and Shailu will select few students and he started giving some tips like music, songs, everything. Then suddenly one student, one girl student is always giving some trouble. She's not listening or she's doing some kind of disturbance. So then Raghav got very angry and he shouted with that girl. So that scene is over. In the next day, when he entered into the school, few people will come and hit Raghav and they will go. They will run away. And then finally they will found like, that girl's father is the Clement, is that gym trainer. He only sent that people to hit Raghav. Then actually Shailu saw that Raghav situation and she got something like affection and love was started. But Shailu is actually a teacher, right? So then after that, we are showing some of the romance scene between Shailu and Raghav. And but the Shailu is always having. She's thinking about that girl student, why she's giving disturbance and why she's some kind of irritating in that class. So she started personally counseling her that girl. Then that girl will tell some beautiful flashback story. The girl's mom is a very good musician, but this guy is a gym trainer, always didn't like that music and songs and all. So in suddenly she got some cancer and she died. So this guy is more upset now because he is without wife. So then, the girl will say like, my father is having so much of affection about my mom, but suddenly she died. So he got upset and he started small tension for each small things. Then what happened? Shailu thought like, okay, so this is the time we have to give some kind of love for the needed people. Anyway, this Raghav is very young and is a very good musician. Maybe so many other girls like her, they may love this guy. So what she thought, she will go and join with that Clement and started enjoying their life. And my scene ends with Raghav is playing some piano music, some sad music, then the camera will go out of the campus.
Super, sir. Super. Very commercial way of thinking. So very nice. Way of narrating is also very nice. Yes, ma'am. Bhavna, ma'am.
Sir, mine was, I'm just narrating the story. The first scene, like no, it will shows that the car is moving. Okay, somebody is there. The like no, through window, like the person he is watching. They are not showing the person who is there sitting inside the car. Like no, he is watching outside. Like no, lot of like banners and posters are there. Like no, advertisements are there related to the gym. Okay, he's a like a very best gym and trainer and all that kind of like no, lots of advertisements is there. Like when he crossing, then like no, the car enter into the school only. The same like no, I also place the school. So he's enter into the like no campus. There also we are not showing the person. He's just stepping out and then he is going inside the campus. There he is like no noticed, and then he's like watching so many kids are playing and then getting ready for competitions and makeuping. So many things are happening there in the school. It is a show that there's some cultural competitions are going on there. So that time when he's crossing, one parent like no, they are taking the kids and leaving. That person is perfectly very fit. It shows like no, he is very fit and healthy person. And then no, he's dropping that time like no, we are showing the heroine like Shailu, and then it's all it's slow motion. He's very much taking care of all the kids nicely, like no, like decorating and then makeup, and she's talking nicely. Then the person, we are not showing the person. No, he's just observing everything about her, and then he was very much impressed. That is our like no character like hero Raghav. So he's just noticing. Then the function it start. The principal came, and then all the competitions are going on. Then principal he like no, he introducing like no Raghav as a chief guest, and then he's the chief guest as well as he's the like no person for like that music competitions. He is like jury. Okay, so that time everybody eagerly waiting. Like Shailu student only, like no, they done, they performed very well. They are supposed to get like no first prize. Everyone they are very eagerly waiting. Even Shailu also. But unfortunately, like no, they announced that like some other school. Then she got very annoyed, and then why he has done like no, he also knows that like no, that because of he got a call, somebody the organizer they are pressurizing him. You have to announce that particular school. So because of that reason, like no, Raghav is announced some other school, but she got like no honored, and then she was very angry, and then she started looking at the like him, and then she doesn't like him at all because he didn't give the like no good justification for the kids and all. So that scene is over. Then after that, so many scenes are there. Then suddenly, like no, one day, one kid like no, in her class fallen sick. Suddenly, is like no, the kid finds she was like admitted into the hospital. Accidentally, she is meeting over there. Like no, Raghu also was there because he came to the same hospital to meet one of his school friend. So when he was interacting, that time she's crying and shouting like no, doctor, see like no, something we doesn't know what happened to the kid. And then you just like they admitted in the hospital, they are cross checking, and then Raghav said don't worry, like no, he's my friend only, he will take care of. And then he's trying to like no pampering her. And then still now like no, she's not that much because already she had a bad experience with him. No, so then no, he will take care of. Then doctor he came out like no, it's kind of a slow kind of poison only. Even till now we're not able to identify what's happening. So we're just diagnosing. So the scene here, like no, that child used to have like no one spoon of like kind of health supplement drink that was given by the like no, the trainer. No, he wants to make the gym as the topmost gym in like no, the city. So he's like no, unknowingly he is giving some kind of food supplement to the people, those who are coming, no, because they want to make it perfect. So it is height, it's not suitable for like, it's not like no recommendable at all. But the guy he dropped the kid no in the school, he's the father like of the kid. So whenever he used to have, he kept the box in his house. It is very tasty. So the kid he used to have the same like no food supplement daily on one spoon. That is the reason like no, the kid falls. But they don't have like no any proof at all. Even doctor they said it is kind of like no, slowly we don't have any proof at all. Then what we have to do, no, we have to like no, have the proof to like no submit. No, then only they will take an action of him. So what he will do, Raghav, okay, I will take care of this issue, I will sort it out. And then he will himself join into the gym. So that particular gym as like no training, and then he trying to find out what's happening there, like no, what are the materials they are adding. He's trying to collect all the things. Then simultaneously like she believed her, like no, believed him, and then they both of them fall in love. Finally the story ends with how he is like no, like no remaining story, how he's defeat that one, and then how the Clement like no gym trainer get into like no jail or like actions taken. This is the story.
Mafia.
Nice, nice. Very good, ma'am. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
yes, Doctor
Sir,
Janardhan.
can I go with?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
please.
sir. It's a monsoon, a rainy season, cloudy day. Outside of the school, on the road, the teacher is Shiloh is waiting for auto to why, because that is a cloudy. Everybody, it's a time is 3:45. Everybody is rushing to catch their buses, autos, transportation. And then meanwhile, in the same time, on another side, the Raghav is passing on the same road, and all of suddenly he got to know that he saw that no, Shailu is waiting. Shailu is waiting for auto. He is going by car, and all of suddenly he stopped his car, and that was not noticed by the Shailu by the time. And he started approaching her, and by the time she got the auto, and he started leaving the place, and he was standing at the middle of the road. He was in his own what do you call recollection of his memories. Then all of suddenly he came to present time with the blowing by the blowing of horns by the all the vehicles. Then immediately he started back to his car, and he rushing to follow the auto. He started approaching the following the auto. All auto reached the home at one street. I didn't mention all these streets and places
Okay.
clearly. And by the time her father, who is a gym trainer, the character Clayman, he is waiting for his daughter. Why? Because the day is not a normal. The situation is uncertain in the when it comes to the with regards to weather. He is waiting on the top of the building. He is looking for his daughter, and she gone to home as usually, but she doesn't aware of that that Raghav is following her auto. But Raghav get down the car and waiting there itself, watching that. That was noticed by the her father. From her father's perspective, the story goes back to what do you call flashback.
Okay.
Flashback. This Shailu and Raghav were both were in the classmates in the at the college. Raghav is very active in the studies and extra activities, like he is a good musician. In the college competitions, they both were met, started liking each other, and they started love each other, and that was noticed by father. All of suddenly the father will not accept their what do you call love. Why? Because that we will not reveal that time. Why? Because she has a no, she is suffering with no what critical Raghav. Why? Because he knows that Shiloh doesn't know that she is suffering with some health issues. But Shiloh father, Clayman, knows that she is having critical health issues. She will not be live for a long time. That is why he didn't accept that time. And after some days, means after the college days, he didn't accept their love. Then they were separated. They were started their journey in settling life. She became a teacher. He became a he can't able to concentrate on the studies because of that love failure. And he has that profession. He become a musician. Then after he noticed the Raghav after so many years. Then her father, Shailu father, decided that now I need to realize. Why? Because he is at 50. At least he needs to give one companion to his daughter. Then he he decided he accept that Raghav. Then they become a couple in the at the end. This is my story.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. So next, who is ready?
Can I?
Yes, yes, please, ma'am.
Okay. So my story starts in a village scene, basically a very remote village, wherein it's not like today's village where you have internet connectivity or where you have smartphones. Not that kind of a village. It's a very remote village. There is no internet connectivity or anything of that sort. People are like struggling to get their ends meet. And it starts like our scene starts in a way that we are just showing the village roads and the rustic those little birds chirping and all that, and we get a slow we get the sound. It starts with the sound where we get these children who are saying those words like how we do like A for, I'm just giving an example of A for apple, but it'll be more of a whichever language we choose, maybe in Hindi or things. So it'll be that typical vernacular that they are spelling that say like this, they are chanting, like how the guru says, and then after that they're chanting. And then we are going into a small, it's a very small structure, that two thatched thatched roofs and just a small little hut kind of a thing. Cemented walls, yes, but the roof is all thatched, and we are going there. We have a typical masterji with chashma and all that, and he's teaching, and there are these small kids over there. They don't even have proper uniforms. They're all there and all, and they're chanting all these, and they're like learning. There is actually these little two kids. Amongst all, there are girls and boys. All of them are there, and they are chanting these words. Here is our first introduction of Rishabh and Shenu in their childhood. So they are there, but it's a very remote area and a very remote place, and people hardly get to grow in that. Now, here we are seeing that these two are very good friends. Like amongst the other two friends, these are very good friends. And this Rishabh has a very keen interest towards these. He loves to hear the sound of the water in the pond, or the music of the wind gushing through the trees and the birds chirping. So he used to always, from his very childhood, used to get up very early in the morning and try and listen, see, look at the music. And he tried to use various instruments. He used to make a flute or something out of a bamboo stick, and he used to try that. Maybe he used to get some vessels and all, and he used to try those earthenware pots and all, to try music and all. And the only one person, and others used to feel, "Arey, kya kar raha hai?" I mean, because music, that time and that place's music, it doesn't have that much of value. So they say, "What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time and all this?" The only person who used to be very interested to hear all this and used to be very intrigued at these adventures was Shenu. So this is the small story which they have here. Now, simultaneously, we are showing now Clement. Clement happens to be Raghav's father. Okay. Now, Raghav's father is a kushti beat, like akhada we say in Hindi, where they do kushti, they play those games, those kushti games.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's there. Okay, he plays those games, and but then again, what will people do with kushti? I mean, do some farming and all that, to get us some food. But he is more into all of that. So there happens to be a competition amongst these various. उस जमाने में होता था, there used to be competitions among various villages for this kushti and all that. So in one of the competitions, his father wins the trophy. Okay. Now, when he wins the trophy in that particular competition, there is one gentleman who comes from the city, because they usually have these sponsors coming from these places. So that gentleman sees a good spark in this guy. Okay. And this guy is usually this guy in the sense Clement. Okay. The young Clement. And he gives this opportunity to Clement. He gives him the thing that, Clement, why don't you come with me to the city? I have something good for you, where you will not be able to do anything. You'll only be winning these trophies. But what about once in a while, you will be winning these. Okay. You come to me to the city, and I have a gym over there, and I don't have any heirs. Now, he is an elderly gentleman. He doesn't have anybody to run it. And I really want to nurture these talents which are there all over. So I've opened up the gym over there. So I want you to come and help. So he takes up this opportunity, and there is where Raghav and Clement part with the village. So Shailu is left back in the village. These two part and they go to the city. Now years pass by and Clement is now the owner of that particular gym, and he's running the gym very well and all. And Raghav again here, he's also, obviously his father is into the gym and all that. So his father will always want, that's the typical kind of a mentality we have. The fathers want that their children also should take up that same profession. So his father's always, telling him, you also become a gym owner and all, you also take interest in all. But he's never interested in this. As usual, his interest is more towards music. So even in his studies, he was mediocre. We did not take the academics too much into consideration here, but he's been very good even through his college days and everything. Now he's got well educated and all that there in college and all, he's done everything, but his knack is always towards music. All right. Now what happens is, no matter what it is, his father keeps pressurizing, what will you do with music? I have such a set business on the gym, and I am opening up gyms all over India and even abroad. I want you to take up this business because I don't have any heir to the business. Who do I give the business to? So one night they have a major argument, and whereas Raghav is absolutely not interested. He's not inclined to that business at all. So he just wants to leave that. So one night they have a big fight, and he leaves the house, and the only thing that kept on in his memory was Shailu, his childhood memory of Shailu. So he goes back to where to go now when he's left the house and all in this. Now where to go? So the one thing strikes him when he is there at one night. As I said, the quarrel happens in the night, and he leaves the house and he goes. He is at the bus stand and he's wondering where to go. He finds the name of the village in that bus which is coming up, and he says, let me go. That just strikes him that I want to go to Shailu. Maybe this is what destiny is calling me for. Let me go and visit her. Let me see, where is she there at all? Where is she? Karke, he takes the bus and he visits that village. Now, when he goes to that village, the village is again, not too much change has happened to the village, but yes, roads and all, they have differed, and there's a lot of change. He doesn't recognize many people, but still he's trying to search for that house. He's trying to search, but in all of this, he's unable to search for that, for his love. Now, he's saying what to do, how to search for that girl. So he's sitting all tired, and one morning he's sitting again, that same memory of his childhood days, where early morning they used to sit beside a pond. There used to be a common pond where they used to sit beside the pond and gossip and listen to the birds chirping and all, and they had a common song that they used to sing, a small rhyme which they used to sing. So he started humming that thing, and to his dismay, like when he was humming that and all, he suddenly finds this payal ka sound, like somebody running and coming towards him. And there is where he first meets Shailu. So again, when he meets Shailu and all that, then obviously there, they start telling about their story. So many days, where were you? This, that, and all that. And there is a love which has happened between these two characters. Now Shailu also says that, see, I take care of the school here, and the school has come a little bit in shape because of her efforts and all that. And now she says, see, whatever it is, I can never go back to the city. I will never be able to go to the city because I want to stay here. And here is where my children, or the children of this village is getting educated, is being able to go out, or I'm being able to bring up the socioeconomic condition of my village only because of this school. I cannot leave the school and go. So what may, I cannot leave. If you want to come and stay with me, you can come and stay with me. So now, obviously, all in this, this thing of love and all that, and he hurriedly takes a decision and said, yeah, no, don't worry, I will be with you only and all that. Kadke, they get married and he stays there only with, but what will he do? What happens is his craze of music. Now, when he was in the city, he was getting these shows, he was getting some pocket money, or he was, he had a very different lifestyle over there. Now, all of a sudden, when he had to stay here and he saw there was so much of problems, and he was not being able to adapt to those problems at all. And he was getting very irritated with his wife. There were always regular quarrels and all which was happening. And he was thinking, like, what have I done to my career? I could have done so many things. Had I been in the city, I would have got this. I would have got this opportunity. I could have excelled in my career. I'm not doing this and all. Now, while this is going on in his head, he gets a letter from his father saying that now let me also tell you this here for the audiences. It's a very remote village, as I said. There is no telephone, there's hardly any telephonic communication. The only terms of communication is a letter, or the postman who comes and gives the letter to them. Okay, that is the only means of that was also one which built onto his frustration, because a person who's coming from the city with so much of internet, mobile and all these facilities is suddenly going into such a remote place. So it was all adding on to his frustration and all. So he gets this letter. This letter was also about a week old, because by the time it came over there, it's almost 2-3 days, not a week, maybe 2-3 days old. So when he gets this letter, it's written that his father has called him SOS because he's not keeping well. So now the instinct of a child comes in, and he tells his wife that see, I have to go because my dad is not well. So she says, okay, you so you come with me. So he said, so no, I cannot come with you. If it is a matter of 1 or 2 days, it's okay. But I have a secondary examination coming up right now for my students. So I cannot go at this moment. You go, you let me know what the situation is. And then maybe you can come and take me and we can go and visit. So he said, because this is a very important situation, you go to your father. So he goes. Now, when he goes, he sees that his father is, I'm cutting off all the in between scenes and I'm just coming directly to the story. So when he goes over there, he sees his father is fit and fine. Nothing has happened to him. And he is very overwhelmed to see his son and all that. And the son gets like, why did you do this kind of a thing? So he said, see, this is a very good opportunity I have got. This is this gentleman who had come to me with a music offer. So you have to given away everything of your music. See, this is a very good music offer he has come with. And I am not telling you to be part of the gym. You at least take up this music offer for a film. He says it's a very good opportunity, and he is absolutely full. He said, you leave everything to me. You get engrossed in this, and you do this successfully. So he gets into that. Now, meanwhile, what is happening? A film music does not take about 2-3 days to finish, right? It takes months after months. So he's fully engrossed in this because so many years, like it's been like 2 or 3 years now that he's been away from all of that. So again, fine tuning himself, and now he's got what was his passion. So he's fully engrossed in it. He's forgotten about everything else that is there in his life. He's fully engrossed in that. And this happens, and like this, he gets film after film, and his popularity and his success reaches to its peak. Now we are showing around, let's say around 10 to 15 years have passed by, and he is at the peak of like he's like he's got massive, like he's become one of the Kumar Sanus or R.D. Burman types, and then he's in a reality show, okay, and in this reality show. He is judging people over there, and he's continuously finding that there is a female voice which is literally haunting him. It is beautiful, like, and he's saying that I know this voice, but he's unable to. Is it Shailu's voice? No, it cannot be her voice. How can her voice be here? And like this, in the final day when he's judging, when this girl finally comes there, then all the while he was just listening. There was no he was not seeing the girl. On the final day when he has come for the judgment, that time this girl is singing, and when the girl turns, it is a replica of Shailu. And later on, he comes to know that this is his daughter.
Nice. It's like one Sanjay Leela Bansali's film.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So, anybody else want to share?
I would like to go for one of the story.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. This is a little bit off, what the team members actually were telling. This is a genre is a sci-fi adventure, and the movie happens not on planet Earth, but actually on a distant planet. In this particular time, maybe around 3,000, 4,000 years ahead of time, the Earth is actually full, and people actually started interplanetary travel. Okay, so we have set up colonies on Moon as well as on Mars, and people are actually on a constant travel between these two planets. So during the expansion plan, there is this the team of people have been selected, where they are traveling for the first time to the planet Titan, which is in Saturn's moon. so that they can explore it, as well as they can establish a colony in that particular place to explore it, mainly for that. So at this particular time, they have the technology for interplanetary travel, so everything is going on smooth. So for the first time, this spaceship carries around 10,000 people and is on a traveling sphere towards from Mars. It is traveling to Titan for the ship. Now, the story evolves somewhere around here. Until here, we are not introducing the protagonist, antagonist, or the female lead. So it is a general storytelling where all the people are traveling for the first time. So we show all of them are in the sleeping pods because that is a safest method of traveling. Cryogen has been introduced. So everybody goes into sleep, and the story goes like, it is going towards the planet. Somewhere after 1 month of travel on space, something happens on the ship. And we hear the sirens everywhere coming up. Something has happened, malfunction has happened. So in that 10,000 people, around 25 people have been woken up by the spaceship machine. So they've been woken up by the computer, and they are wondering like why they are woken up suddenly. They might have thought they already reached Titan, but they're not reached. They are in the middle of that. So out of this 25 people are these three gentlemen, Raghav, Clement, and Shiloh. All three are strangers. They don't know each and every one of them. So they are all like very strangers. They are trying to find out what's going on in that particular part. Later, they find out by just roaming around that particular spaceship. Out of the 10,000 people, only this 25 people are, live now. They're woken up now, and they're trying to actually finding the solution, like what happened in this particular part. So now the main story, that is plot 2 and plot 3, evolves around finding what is the actual problem which happened to the spaceship, why they've been woken up early, and what is the reason that actually caused the pods to actually open up, why they been woken up. So this is the reason where the entire story goes on. So it comes to the conclusion that a space rock has been hit the spacecraft, and which triggered the spaceship to wake up certain parts so that they can actually check out what is the thing about. But the main problem that comes is the rock which was there which hit the spaceship had a unusual entity, so alien entity. So which started to actually grow inside the spaceship and started to create havoc. So the whole story goes around like how this 25 people actually try to survive this particular ordeal without losing the life. So so we focus the story on these three characters, Raghav, Clement, and Shailu, and what is the ordeals actually they go through in order to survive this particular journey. So the climax can be whether they'll survive the ordeal, or anybody loses their lives, or it is everybody will save their life. So it can be that particular part. So it's a sci-fi adventure genre. Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So today we had different experiences. One is, as Google sir was saying the story, he started very well, like he started with establishing the scene, and Dr. Janathan spoke well, Bhavana ma'am, Renee, and this is I was expecting from Varun sir, he might because he's into animation and watching a lot of sci-fi movies. Right. Anybody else want to share, or right? So this was a very good exercise. In diploma in film technology, higher colleges, they used to sit and work with this. Because might be sometimes we might forget about the story, but characters we always involve with it. There is a psychological influence between us and the character. You know why? The dress we wear, the specs, the beard, all the things we just adapt from the film and replicate it. You know, when Rajinikanth superstar, when he just revolves his goggles and put like this, immediately we do that. And the dress, the style, what he wears, we always immediately reflect it. So psychologically, we are always imbibed with the film. Right. So when we talk about this antagonist and protagonist, we just rewind or 2 to 3 decades before. When we talk about antagonist and protagonist, there will be a hero will always do good for the people, and there is villain will always do bad for the people. This is what the basic formula. But right now, the things has been changed. All the heroes, they started to do the negative roles. What happens when we just think, when we see,
The
can we
trend
have
is known by called by foil. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. The
foil,
trend is
foil
called
character?
as foil.
Yes, yes. So heroes, when we just when they started to do this a negative character, what kind of psychological influence we have? You watch all the films. We are watching all kind of films, right? Just imagine how a hero is introduced. The first establishing scene is how he is introduced. You can take Superstar. Okay, how he is introduced. First scene is coming on the screen. How he is introduced? Can anybody say?
Walking
And
style, actions.
fans, a
Walk
lot of fans
First
rotating,
music,
a lot
first
of
music
wheels
will come.
blowing.
Coming to the rescue of somebody.
Yes, yes. Then
Actually,
every
it
time.
depends on the script itself.
Story, yes.
Yes,
A different hero has different kind of approach, you know.
Yes.
Based on
yes,
their
yes,
body
yes.
language, they have
Body language. Okay.
yes, every hero is having a pattern of introduction.
Yes, that is what I want. Every hero has a pattern of introduction. Right now, they all come out with a song. Opening song is there.
It's
How
1890s,
villain?
that was the trend, sir.
Yes, yes,
80s,
90s.
90s, that was the trend.
That was a trend. No,
They were
whenever,
they were opening at the foreign land, and with
yes,
foreign girls, there was a bangs.
and there will be an aerial shot. There will be an aerial shot, and he will
Yes,
walk.
that
All
aerial
things
shot
like
will takes into the closer.
yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes, sir.
a villain is introduced? Can you say?
By killing the person, by involving in the cruel incident in the beginning. It's
Yes.
with that terrific incident, they were intensifying the how cruel he is.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you
So
see the S.S.
what?
Rajamouli's films,
Hmm.
his villain is more powerful than in the hero in the beginning itself.
Yes, exactly, exactly. That is a formula which is copied from the Western films. You know, you might have heard
Yes,
the
yes.
film. You might have seen the film Mission Impossible.
Godfather.
Godfather, Mission
Yes,
Impossible
yes.
2. I always used to say that as an example because when the Mission Impossible, why I'm telling the psychological influence we have with the film, because when the film, I was doing my second year visual communication when I watched the film. I went along with my friend to watch the film. So we went in a TVS 50, you know, TVS 50, it's a Moffat. So all the Mission Impossible film will have a very chasing scene with a bike, a Ducati and a BMW bike. So the film,
Yes, yes, yes.
the Mission Impossible 2, the film had like that. After watching the film, we came out and we going back to our home. But my friend, it is a TVS 50, he was riding like that, like all kind of skating. You know why? Psychologically, we always we get attracted. Immediately we get attracted. You sit and watch a film, we get attracted. 2 days before, there was one web series. It's a Tamil web series. The subtitle, you find free time, you just watch it. It's a Pavakadaigal, sin stories. I watched it. I was so much moved about one story because what else we have, if it's shown in the film, we always get attracted, we get moved to it. Right. As sir said, villain will be introduced with some cruelty, some murder, or something like that. When you just talk about 3 decades before, 30 years before, every villain will be introduced with a loud smile. the loud laugh. Right. How heroines are introduced? All the films have the same formula.
Heroines are mentals.
How they introduced? They will show earring.
They do all these funny things.
कुछ भी sir. Funny thing.
Ma'am, they will blindly believe everything.
No, no.
In 1890s, they introduced with song. All
With a
heroines,
dark,
they will have a single song.
with a dark location, the bright color, there is only one single light. With that light, she might be playing with the children.
Exactly.
Or she's
You watch all films.
Or else she might
Every film.
rush to save the any pet, rush to save the any light, something like that.
See, it is a kind of a cliche thing. It's a formula that every films, you take about Malayalam, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, all films have the same kind of introducing a females as a a doll, a kind of a doll, like showing all these earrings and lips and walking styles, all those things. And the same way, why I gave this exercise, because a character, when you form the characters, automatically the bridging will take a very big task. When you start bridging, you can introduce so many characters also. Like there is two character, primary and a secondary character, and there is a bridging character. If you want supportive characters, as Sir added some supportive characters, Dr. Jonathan also added some supportive characters, and also Rini added some supportive characters. No, it makes the story more interest and reality. When you are bridging, all the films, when the hero and heroine, when they want to meet each other, all films have the same kind of formula. Like the dupatta will fall on the hero, he will take, or some fruits will fall down, he will take some books.
Yes.
No, right now the
If
formula.
you observe the Bahubali writer's style of writing, we can notice these kind of change.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Right now,
heroine will help kids to cross the road, and then hero got love. See, all this thing.
Exactly. Writing for film to make whenever you write for something, for a film or something, a story, whatever it is, you have to put yourselves as in the business customer. You have to put yourself in the audience shoes. How they will react if they sit and watch? Will they like? Will they love? Will the film will go into a commercial? Okay. So commercial means there will be when I want to tell something about a film, you all might have heard about the term called a blink of an eye. Like we use this term in editing, blink of an eye. We'll blink our eyes. That is what in a film, when you just watch a film, every 15 minutes there will be a block change. There will be a different block change. You cannot romance for more than 15 minutes. You cannot always cry for more than 15 minutes. You cannot always laugh for more than 15 minutes. So every commercial film have a block change. When we go take classes, we have 55 minutes to 60 minutes to deliver a class. Every person, including us, we have a tendency of listening only for 15 minutes. First 15 minutes, I think you all observe the students. I always love to observe the students. First 15 minutes, they will sit like this and listen, always nodding the head. After 15 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes, they will do like this, all body languages, they will stretch, stretch, all the stretches will do. Then after 25 to 30 minutes, slowly they will feel hungry. And after the 35 to 45 minutes, they will see the friends and will say, boring. All these body languages will come. After 55 minutes, they will sit straight because nothing will go in their ear. Why all this? It is obviously the same way when you just see a film also, it is what happens. So interesting elements have to be there. That is why visual hook, the first, when you go and sit and watch a film, the first 15 minutes, it have to attract, the audience have to get attracted, because another 2 hours we have to sit. Sometimes in the first 15 minutes is a boring, and in interval block itself you will get out from the theater. This is what happened. So I gave this exercise because to improve the creativity. In 15 minutes, you created a beautiful story. Sci-fi story was there, some emotional story was there, and some romantic story was there. So I always suggest you to do these exercise to students. So they will, so all the students, we have seen so many students for 16 years, they will think about a story tonight, the next day they will come and ask for the camera. This is what happened. When you practice them to write, sit and write, when you start writing, automatically creativity increases. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed this session and practiced some creativity writing. And you can practice these kind of things whenever you have a free time. You can suggest the students also to do like this. So here I'm going to stop. I wish you all a happy Christmas and prosperous year, each and everyone.
Thank you, sir. Wish you the same.
Happy Christmas.
Thank you.
Sir.
Anybody want to add anything or say anything?
This is Dipoman, sir. I would like to add a little bit. It is about you were talking about psychological association with. Let me switch on my camera.
Yes, please.
You were talking about psychological association of the viewer with the movie. Here, I would like to add one thing. When I was a student, we were given one article written by Laura Mulvey. It's called Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema. It's a very important article. Many years after that, I met Laura Mulvey in Kolkata. She came for a lecture. She was a communist feminist writer, but she completely denied her position, what she took in that article. But the article is very important. If we refer the article to the student, I mean, I add two elements, two terms that she used. One is peeping Tom, which means you are looking through the camera hole, and who you are. You are a man, you are a woman who is following the characters. Most of the 70s, 80s films, if you see that, it seems like that I am sitting in a dark room of cinema hall, and all the characters are playing. I mean, for example, a male and female making love, they are not looking at me. I am looking at them. And this pleasure, she called voyeurism. So this is also a trick, also a psychological, some kind of association that filmmakers create, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. So this is also part of visual storytelling. So I just wanted to mention this article. If we refer this article to our student, that will add some value. That's all I wanted to say, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for adding, sir. Yes, over to you,
sir.
Suman, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir, Suman, sir.
Can I start the video, sir? Whatever you have prepared.
Okay, you can play this. Whatever we discussed, there is a small video. You can just watch it.
Yes.
What is cinema?
Is it audible for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Cinema,
Yes.
or motion picture, is the art of moving images.
Can you increase the volume, sir?
That tells stories and exposes reality. Filmmaking is the art and the craft of visual storytelling. You are showing the story rather than telling the story through moving images. If you are best storyteller, you know what is drama and dramatic elements in storytelling, then can learn the medium of films, means that audio-visual medium techniques to express your feeling or particular topic you want to express. Storytelling. What is storytelling? Do you want to capture your audience attention? Why don't you tell them stories? Any kind of stories. Sad, dramatic, funny. What kind of stories? Each story which enhances their imagination, creativity, inspiration. Why should you create stories for your audience? Stories have a general context and also give possibilities for very individual interpretation, and they stimulate emotions, reflections. For a story, we need characters because characters plays a vital role and it stands in the audience mind. First is the protagonist. The protagonist is the main character in the story. You write about it and we name it as hero. And how do we introduce a hero? Second is antagonist. Antagonist is simply a character whose intentions conflict with those of the protagonist, that is the main character, and we name it as villain. How do we introduce the villain?
I am Hela, Odin's firstborn, commander of the legions of Asgard, the rightful heir to the throne and the goddess of death.
Next is the supportive character. As heroine, who supports the hero. Some other characters who act as a bridge for hero and villain, that is the protagonist and the antagonist. To make all the characters get connected, we should maintain a plot or an incident. So a story carries a beginning, middle, and end.
So whatever we had a discussion today, it is the small video presentation. Right. So over to you, Suman sir.
Yes.
Dear participants, it was a nice session. So I think, do you have any query? Please ask sir. Sir will give you the each and every solutions. And I think it was nice sessions. So I learned so many things from your sir. So thank you for your actually help. Thank you for your support, sir. And welcome to sir. And we can end the session, sir.
Merry Christmas, Rufus ji.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Happy Christmas to all of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, it's a very interactive and
Thank
wonderful
you very
session,
much,
sir. Thank you so much. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas to
Just
everyone.
a cake this time. Last year you had got the cake to the campus. This year
Virtual cake.
virtual
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It was very
All
interesting.
have.
Enjoyed
Yes.
the
Thank
session
you.
and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Bye bye.